Hello and welcome to the Stronghold Digital Mining Daily Update. Today's Thursday, June 29th, 2023. So there's one more day tomorrow in Q2 2023. After tomorrow, as of midnight, the books are closed. I'm in the process of making some adjustments to the Ziner.com, Stronghold Digital Mining shareholder dashboard. As a result of that, there is apparently a little bit of data issues with regard to natural gas pricing and a couple other more like secondary numbers that we typically look at. So I plead for your patience as I make those adjustments. Just want to make sure the system is as in good a shape as possible going into Q3 2023 because I really want to make an effort to make all of this data instantaneously available to anybody who would like to import it into their favorite spreadsheet and to run the numbers themselves and to kind of have some fun checking out the data. So some patience as these improvements are being made. The good news is that the core data that we like to look at on a daily basis has not been interrupted. So let's pull up the slide. Okay, so we're looking at PJM Penelec and PJM PP&L pricing, $25.33, 24-hour average grid price for PJM Penelec. That is where Scrubgrass is located over in PJM PP&L. Average 24-hour grid price of $18.81. That is the zone in the grid where the Panther Creek power plant happens to be located. Really big number here, super big number. Bitcoin priced in dollars per megawatt hour, BTCMW. The 24-hour average from about 3:30 in the afternoon yesterday till about 3:30 in the afternoon today is $110.59. These are phenomenal numbers. Spot price of Bitcoin 24-hour average, $30,388. The 24-hour average for the network hash rate, the Bitcoin network hash rate, 306. Okay, back to me, please. So what you may have noticed, right, over the past number of days is that the price of Bitcoin has largely stayed in something of a range, right? It's been just a little bit over $30,000 a coin. What has really changed a lot, and this is what has lately been, having a direct impact on our Bitcoin priced in dollars per megawatt hour number, is the Bitcoin network hash rate. As I've mentioned before, I believe that this has largely been driven by weather conditions in the state of Texas, here in the United States, where it's been very, very warm, and my suspicion that Bitcoin mining operations throughout the state have, to a greater or lesser degree, been curtailed during various times during the day, just so that the grid can better optimize the use of electricity for human health and safety. Now, whether or not that weather pattern is going to hold, we'll have to see. But in the meantime, again, we don't control the weather, but this is proving to be very, very helpful for Stronghold Digital Mining as we come to the very close here of Q2 2023. Speaking of the weather, here's a quick image of what it looks like outside over here. You can't really tell from that, but back to me here. You can't really tell maybe from that, sort of like short little video of sorts, but it is quite hazy. It is quite, you can't really see the blue sky. It's kind of this smoky haze that's hanging over everything. The air quality index, the last time I checked a couple of hours ago, was around 180, which falls into the unhealthy category. My understanding is that this is, affecting the whole mid-Atlantic region. New York City might be getting affected. So, it is what it is, right? Okay. Now, I do want to share a couple other quick things. As we head into this weekend, it's something of a holiday weekend here in the United States, just given the fact that our 4th of July Independence Day holiday is next Tuesday, July 4th. This weekend already begins to feel as if though it is a holiday already. Nevertheless, I do plan to publish an episode of O&M. It's going to be, I think, a fairly technical episode, and it's an episode in which I'm going to speak at length about a variety of topics, one of which is my suspicion, my unverified suspicion, that as between Panther Creek and Scrubgrass, I believe Scrubgrass is likely the power plant that is being curtailed, perhaps more so, if not exclusively, as compared to Panther Creek. A little bit of a potentially controversial hypothesis. I'm going to present some evidence that sort of helps maybe bolster this theory, right? This hypothesis of why I think this may be the case. Regardless, we're going to find out soon enough, right? I anticipate that if our past is any predictor of the future, then probably sometime in early August, we will be talking out loud about our Q2 2023 results, and we'll probably get a lot more context and color as to what has been going on with our reclamation facilities, right? These, power plants. Again, my suspicion is we might be curtailing activity at Scrubgrass. And I'll present all the evidence why in an episode of O&M. I thought about doing it in today's video, but it gets bogged down. It is a bit of a technical discussion. Again, it's one of those things where I think maybe it is better suited to O&M. Okay, stock price. Well, the stock price is the stock price, right? I did notice that we seem to be surging ahead a bit earlier this morning. This afternoon things seem to have cooled off a bit. Hey, look, if you have been a Stronghold Digital Mining co-owner, a shareholder for any length of time, you know that we can oftentimes move around in ways that appear at face value to be controlled by forces of nature that have sometimes no real resemblance or bearing to our operational activity, certainly not on a day-to-day basis. Operationally, what I'm seeing, right, based on real world data, would suggest that we're doing really, really well, right? So days like today, I would expect the stock to do well, right? If we were going to have a stock price that sort of would rise and fall based on operational performance. Hey, lately, the past 24 hours, operational performance has been awesome. Hey, on a day where maybe operational performance hasn't been so awesome, hey, then maybe you'd expect the stock price to take a bit of a breather or move sideways or even go down a little bit. But our stock just has a tendency to move around, oftentimes like blades of freshly cut grass in the summer wind, right? But I'm optimistic that once we get Q2 2023 results and we have an opportunity to look under the hood, hear from our friends in management, get a better sense of what's going on, get a better sense of what is going on at that time, right? Because usually when we do these investor presentations, we will get a bit of insight as to what's going on operationally with the business at the time the investor presentation is taking place. And by then, we will be well into Q3 2023. So that's something that's exciting and that I'm sure we're all looking forward to it. It somewhat closer to present day, what I am anticipating is that either tomorrow or quite plausibly maybe sometime early next week, we might actually get a press release that describes our Bitcoin production for June 2023, as well as potentially an update regarding our internal Bitcoin mining hash rate. I've gone on the record numerous times speculating that we might be closer at this point to 3.6 exahash based on data that Stronghold has previously disclosed. So we will see if maybe that's something that we talk about a little bit. It's entirely plausible that we might get very surprised by an announcement that not only maybe have we hit 3.6 exahash, but who knows, maybe there's going to be a little bit of a forecast as to when we might hit 4. We know that officially we're scheduled to hopefully hit 4 exahash by the end of Q3 2023, which would be at the end of September. I suspect that we're going to hit that well before then, especially if we're already at 3.6. Picking up an extra 400 petahash, not necessarily the easiest thing in the world to do, but it feels like it's within striking distance. So I think we're going to probably get that done sooner rather than later. Okay. I hope you're doing well. I hope that if you're in Texas, you're hanging in there with the hot weather. If you're anywhere in the the Mid-Atlantic region or anywhere else that's affected by smoky conditions, hopefully things are reasonable. And you know what? Wherever you happen to be, I hope that to some extent there's something to be optimistic about, something to be joyful about, and something to look forward to. Okay, let's all collectively, as co-owners and shareholders of Stronghold Digital Mining, let's be positive, let's be great, and we'll see each other again tomorrow.